Justin and this guy were making out with the same girl.
Oh no!
But Justin had a chew in his mouth, and then it was in the other guy's mouth. I remember him telling me about that.
Oh!
Oh my god. Could you even imagine that?
Disgusting. That is terrible.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome back. Episode 2. Our first one was our greatest show we've ever made together.
It's the best. Hands down. Hands down, the most positive feedback we've ever gotten.
Also the only thing we've ever made together like that. So, actually I've had a few people, like my mom it must be an elite hacker or something, because she told me like Sunday, right? It was scheduled to come out Wednesday. She told me Sunday, she's like, we watched the whole thing.
Yeah,
like,
I was like, how is it? I barely was able to watch the whole thing. It took us like an hour to set that up.
I was like, are you just saying that because you were there and you know all everything that happened or what? And she's like, no, we watched it. It was there. So I was like, I don't know.
I heard those stories. Yeah, you guys tell the same stories every time you talk, so I know that story.
Yeah. She's probably like, yeah, I've heard all of this. And then one of my friends that was my friend, I was just talking to Laura about this. He lived close to my house in Illinois, and I think he moved to Missouri when I was in 3rd grade.
Missouri?
Yeah, and I couldn't think. I was going through the grades in my head, and I couldn't think of another time that I remembered him being in school. So it must have been 3rd grade. He moved away, and now his wife messaged me on Facebook, and she's like, "We watched your whole first episode of your podcast, and we absolutely loved it. We're waiting for the next one, and we'll be watching." And she's like, "You should have him on there sometime, and just tell stories." And I'm like, man, I'm thinking about it. That was 3rd grade, and I'm having trouble remembering stuff that you and me did together.
Yeah, we're having trouble remembering the last 10 years.
Yeah, that was only 10 years ago. 3rd grade. Oh man. I saw him when I was 16. I drove my car out there. I drove my Camaro out there. And he was also in my wedding. So I saw him right before I went to Wyotech.
Yeah, like the day before.
Yeah. Not very long. So that's cool. People have been like super positive. I mean, I think it's got like probably 30 views, but yeah. I mean, that's huge compared to even what I normally get. I've got 930 subscribers on my other channel, and it's usually like 10 views per video. So we're already doing better.
We're making content. People like it. Yeah, Brandon reached out to me from SGS.
Yeah.
He was awesome. He was watching it. He was like seeing if we were filming it live. So not actually live, even though it's just recorded. Or it looks live. We're not actually live. Corey will go back, edit a little bit, change some stuff up if we need to, edit out any incriminating facts.
I kind of thought about that. I was like, we could stream and record this at the same time. And I'm like, it's a lot of work to do that. And there's going to be people commenting and stuff, like chatting. And yeah. I have to do this to even see it. It's just not worth it. And then if we say anything that is obviously stupid, we can fix it.
Yeah, that's the key. We don't want to look we're just balancing the right amount of stupid. Kick it right in there. I got a haircut this week. Can you tell?
Yeah.
Don't look at that part. That's starting to get starting to lose it. But I got a nice little haircut yesterday, a little trimmed up.
It was pretty fluffy. But
yeah,
when
it was pretty bad.
When I saw it last time, I was like, whoa!
What happened to that guy? Boom!
But
so I got a short story. I'll keep it short. Got my haircut at my barber, and he's moving to Whitefish, Montana. I finally found someone who can cut my hair, and he's cool, and it's expensive, but it's totally worth it. Great barber, like old school, straight edge razor, the whole 9 yards. Not that I really use it, but he trims it up with straight edge. And yeah, he's leaving. So I was kind of bummed, but I have till like April, so 1 or 2 more haircuts, and I got to find a new guy. So recommendations on a Durango haircut place, anybody?
Yeah, anybody that lives in Durango, um, because I don't know.
Watch
Actually,
out for me. I'm gonna come up to Colorado or to Denver and get a Floyd's 99 or something.
you know what's funny was went to Bob's house last night. The guy I worked with at Furniture Row, for his Christmas party he has every year. We went the last 2 years, and you bring an ornament, and they do a thing. Everybody sits around the table. You roll the dice, and if you get a 7 or an 11, first round you take a box, you take a package, and you open it and see what's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, if you get a 7 or 11, you can take one of the ornaments from somebody else, like the one that you want, but they can steal it back from you. Anyway, there's like hair. There's hair in my glasses.
That's the worst. I hate that. That's why I don't wear my glasses.
But there's one of his friends had this lady with him this time that had never been there before. Oh, I don't have mine. So
I wear my sunglasses at night. Sorry, go ahead.
Bob's wife was talking to her, and she was talking about she's a dental assistant, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I work at a dentist over in Aurora. It's like Hampton and Tower." And I'm like, she's like, "It's called." Well, I won't say what it's called. But I was like, I go there. That's my dentist. And they live in Colorado Springs. And this guy happened to meet this lady, and they live in Colorado Springs, so far away. And then they're friends with Bob. And then they just happen to be, she works at my dentist. Like, how does that work? How does that happen?
It's a small world, man.
I saw something that said like 1 in every 14 people or something knows somebody that you know.
I can believe that. It's like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a friend in Denver, one of Steph's really good friends, and she knows the owner of Ska Brewing here in town.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
Going to work for them. And I don't know if I can talk about where, who, what, why, in what fashion, but she will be working for them, which I thought was pretty cool. Small world. Like, those guys are super cool and super big brewing company, and they're definitely the biggest brewer in Durango. And yeah, it's just like amazing, all that, the way the world weaves. I'm trying to show weaving. Like,
yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, oh man, some of the people, the people that I work with are like, oh yeah, I know that guy. Well, the guy that worked at Furniture Row before me, everybody called him Root. Mike Root. His name was Mike Root. I'll just say it. And I guess he was a super, super douchebag, and he'd like freak out and like throw stuff and break stuff and punch his car till his hands would bleed. Well, anyway, he left there, and then he went to where I work now. So he worked at Furniture Row, and then I went there, and he worked at where I work now, and now he moved. So I've never actually met the guy, but I've heard all the stories.
Does he walk around saying, "I am Root"?
I don't know.
I am Root.
I wouldn't be surprised.
For anybody who doesn't watch Guardians of the Galaxy,
I am Groot. It'd be funny if that's all he could say is, "I am Root," and then he just starts breaking stuff.
Starts throwing shit.
So we did that last night. We had to pick up Will at 8 o'clock, so we had to get out of there. Good food. Bring your own beer.
That's okay.
Yeah, we were only there for.
We were supposed to go to a Christmas party last night, but it was a long day, and we just really weren't up for it. And the snow was coming in, and it was bad. Oh, excuse me, I got a hiccup. So sorry, Ken and Mary.
Did it actually snow there?
Yeah, kind of. Like, it looked like it was going to snow super bad, but then it would melt right away. But I was worried about it refreezing, really. Mm. And I don't want to wreck my brand new truck. That would make me sad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't even snow here at all. Like, it was cold.
Yeah.
It's
not even cold. Like, it's 30 degrees right now, and it snows off and on. Dark, I'd show you. There's like, I don't know, a half inch of snow. We got the most snow we've gotten all day in the last 20 minutes. I don't know. We
Yeah,
went,
it was
oh,
earlier in the week. It said it was going to snow like 3 inches
yeah,
today or Saturday. Didn't
and you
snow
got
at
nothing.
all. Didn't snow today.
It was supposed to snow all the snow today, and it really didn't snow that much. And I'm kind of bummed, but the weather sucked. We were going to go to Monument Valley, do like the Moki Dugway and Muley Point. And you ever seen Monument Valley, like at the beginning of every old Western movie you've ever seen in your entire life?
I probably have seen it, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like that quintessential Western opening where the cow, or end of the movie where a cowboy rides away into the sunset. That. But I didn't want to go out there with the weather being all gray, because it's one of those panoramic views.
Mm-hmm.
So we stayed close to town. We stayed inside. I've been barbecuing all day. I got pork shoulders in the oven now, finishing, and I got
I saw that.
tortillas,
I saw a
and I did
picture.
jalapeno poppers. Man, I've been cooking all day. Oh, so we went. I found some headlights for my truck on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, "Oh man, I can totally buy these, cut them up, modify them, make cool headlights, and not void any of my warranty." So we drove to Aztec, which is about half hour away, and we got there, and I go and I look at the headlights, and they're not projector headlights; they're like old school headlights,
Oh
and I have
yeah.
projector headlights, and that's what I wanted to build. I don't want to change the look. I want it to look factory but be upgraded. So I drove I think 35 minutes each way to go.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a big dummy. Sorry, I didn't look at the pictures a little better. But the guy was cool. He's a super nice guy. He has all sorts of Chevy stuff. So I was like, that's cool. All right, see ya.
Yeah, that's why I hate letting people buy me stuff because like there's so many of the same thing, but there's like one of this thing, and I want that one.
Yeah,
I don't want all this other crap. I want that one.
I want this particular part number one.
Yeah. Well, just like for example, today we were looking at. I want a new thermometer for out the back door that's on the wall because all the numbers are faded off and I can't read it unless
Mm-hmm.
I open the door and stick my head out there. So we were looking at them on Amazon, and Laura's looking at them. She's like, "Oh, this one looks good. This one looks good." And I was like, I gotta look at them. I gotta read what they do. I gotta read the reviews. I gotta see if they suck.
They all suck. Yeah, I totally know. Yeah, I have like a little round one that sits on my back window. And yeah, it took me like way too long to pick one at Home Depot.
And
So
really,
trying to buy out there.
I just wanted like the long white one that has the red Mercury thing in the middle, but I want it to be big. I want a big red Mercury,
Big headline so you can read it.
and I want big numbers.
You
But
need a weather station like I have, because then it just tells you a number. I don't even have to look at it.
I have one. Well, I have one here. I have an atomic clock here. Actually, it's not telling me outside right now, and batteries probably went dead again, which happens like so often that it's not even worth having.
Yeah.
Then I have one upstairs on the kitchen counter, but that one it's a little bit cheaper, so the temperature I find is always different, like
Yeah.
5 degrees difference up plus or minus.
That's a pretty
So
big difference.
so I don't know. That's why I wanted
um,
the Mercury one because I figured that one is probably the most accurate. All it is the old school Mercury. It's outside. It is what it is.
Yeah. I got this weather station one. I don't know, it's like $135, but it does wind, it does rain, it does solar radiation, it does temperature inside and outside, humidity inside and outside. I'm looking at it right now, trying to figure out all the things it does. Um, Barometric pressure. It does rain totals. Did I say that one already? What else does it do? It has a little solar panel. It charges itself all the time. It's awesome. And it uploads to Weather Underground. I'll get you the link and you put it in the YouTube thing so people can check out my weather station and get all the data about
Yeah.
my house.
That sounds cool. Yeah,
awesome.
the one I have one that it doesn't do wind speed, but it does like humidity inside and outside and temperature inside and outside. It's supposed to show you if it's supposed to rain or do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's supposed to connect to this app, but your phone has to be connected to like the same Wi-Fi, and it doesn't connect to the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and I don't want that on my phone. I want to be connected to the better one. I don't know. It's just a big pain, and it didn't work out right, and it's a little bit cheaper, so it's not very accurate. And
Yeah, that's why I really like this one. There's a web page I can go to, and I can give the link out to that, where I can see it anywhere. Like it uploads to the internet, and then I just look on the internet, or I can get on Weather Underground, and it does the same thing in a little different format. So it's pretty fancy, and it's fairly accurate. There's like 3 or 4 of these within a mile of here, and they're all usually somewhat on top of each other. Oh, I'm getting notifications. Hold on.
ooh,
Check this out. Bam. Face space. I got you set on my laptop, so I'm reading behind you.
oh, okay. Oh, my mom's calling me right now.
Hi, Mama.
I'm gonna answer it. We'll
Do
talk
it.
to her.
Do it.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey.
What's going on?
We're recording the podcast right now. You're live with me and Erickson.
Hey, what are you doing?
Well, hey, Erickson, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going? What are you
Oh.
guys up to?
I guess she probably can't hear you if I got my headphones in.
No, you definitely can't hear me if you're
All right,
headphones.
well, I don't want to interrupt the podcast. I can talk to you later.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Corey's mom.
I thought about that as you were talking, and I could hear you just fine. I'm like, wait a second, she can't hear you.
She can't hear a thing. She's gonna watch this now and be like, "Dang it!"
So, actually, let me wait. How do I do this? If I do that, and then I go here, and then I go here. Okay. Wait. Nope. That's just a picture. Sorry. Wait. That one.
I
There
can't
we go.
see.
So if I bring you back up, how do I? Okay. Now I screwed it up. Wait. There it goes. Okay. Screen share. Go. So if I bring this over here.
Oh, yeah, I can see it now.
This.
Oh man, yeah. What the heck?
All right. So what I wanted to talk, you sent me this, and that's the first I heard of it.
Yeah, he's like super unhappy and wants to leave NASCAR. Well, he is leaving NASCAR. That's what the article says anyway. And he wants to retire. Is that this year, this off season, or next off season?
I
forget.
Actually, I didn't read that much of it. I read like I'm trying to see if I can do this so that I can get you and I can get this, something like that. Ah, dang, what the crap, man. Stop it.
It's okay. All right.
Anyway, so all right. So I used to work with these guys. Cole Pearn, Martin Truex Jr. Actually, Cole was in the shop. Martin only came in a couple times. Oh, look, it's 78 people are talking about this.
I wonder if we're one of those.
Isn't that weird? 78. So.
Oh yeah, it's car number.
I listened to this here. If you click on this, it's like an audio of him talking about it. And he doesn't really say anything other than he wants to be with his kids, while they're still of the age where they think he's cool and he's got time to spend with them. But what I found interesting about that is in like 2017, it was kind of funny. I would go, I'll bring you back. I'll bring me back. I would go out of the body shop and go to the bathroom, and he was either always in there or I would go in and then he would come in like a few seconds after. So like we were always in the bathroom at the same time, which is kind of weird, but that's just how it happened.
Were you bathroom buddies?
Yeah, I guess.
What's happening in there, Corey? No wonder they wanted you to come back east.
So we were talking once. I like barely knew who he was at the time, and he was talking about how
you barely knew who Cole Pearn was.
Yeah. I was like, who's this guy?
This guy.
So he was talking about how every weekend he flies across time zones this way and then across time zones this way. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he's working every weekend. Well, except
Yep.
for, a couple here and there, and then the off season, which is what? December, January. Yeah, like 2 months, but then they're building cars for February.
Yeah, it's not really that long.
So he was talking about, he was just like burned out looking. He's just like, man, we go time zones this way, then we go 2 time zones this way. And he's like, it's really, really wearing on me. And that was 2 years ago. So I was like, I saw it and I was like, what? They just won a championship and then you got second place 2 years in a row. But I can see that. I mean, I suppose if I had to make a choice of, not seeing my kid on the weekends, I mean, I'm sure he makes a crap ton more money than I do. So I might have to be like, maybe.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you don't want to be away from your family that much.
Yeah, I mean, it could be something where, they could come to the track. I mean, if I'm making that much money, then Laura's probably not working, right? So
Maybe.
they could come to the track sometimes and I could, I could get them from school and we could, I don't know. I might be able to make it work for freaking 500,000 a year or whatever. I don't know what he makes, but
Yeah, but even Cole Pearn's not making that kind of money.
he's making, I don't know what he's making. I looked it up. It said he was worth like $1 million or $2 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I had $1 million, $2 million sitting in the bank, I probably wouldn't want to be there every weekend either, in all fairness.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I might be like, well, I'm just going to stay home. Well, anyway, I just wanted to tell that story that I didn't see that coming, but I found it interesting that he said this stuff to me and it's not that much longer that he's just like, yep, it's too hard. I'm done with it.
I can't blame him. I don't think the racing was too hard for him. I think it's being away from family and being away from the things you want to do. That's kind of what brought Steph and I down here. Steph's in the kitchen. But I mean, that's kind of what brought us here. We were doing okay. I mean, making money and had a house and all that, but we kind of got sick of Denver.
Yeah.
And one day we sold everything and moved to Durango.
Yeah. I don't know. We kind of mentioned it a couple times about moving towards like Colorado Springs or Larkspur or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just to like be able to afford. I mean, crap, man. I mean, Will and I stopped at an open house the other day, so like he loves to go to open houses. So we saw a sign that said open house, so we went to it. And this house, I mean, it was a nice house. There was almost virtually no backyard. It backed up to a street, and there was like a bricks, like a deck type thing, and then it went to the grass, and then the grass was like that, and it looked like a freaking water ran through it or something, and then it was like 10 feet to the fence.
Kind of not good for kids.
But it did have a 3-car garage, and the house was pretty nice. I like the house. But that thing was $435, and it just went down 20 grand, so it was almost $460.
Where
for
was
the house
this?
in Aurora? It's like on the other side of Hampton from our house.
Oh my God. Yeah, I kind of know those other houses. Yeah. I mean, cool, but no yard, no really. I mean, you got patio technically, but you got kids, you got littles, you want to do stuff with that's a lot of money. Holy crap.
I don't know. I was looking at a couple more houses and I'm like, I hate all of these. I want to live outside of town. I mean, even if I only have like an acre, that's still enough to put a trampoline on or drive
Put a trampoline.
Power wheels around on or something,
Oh, yeah. Or little 50cc dirt bikes and 4-wheelers and stuff. I mean, that's what we have. We're on an acre and a quarter, about 25 minutes from town, and it's perfect. I have my wrecked Colorado in the driveway, and nobody says a word. People are like, "Oh man, are you okay?" That's the worst of it. They're like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Great. I sold that thing yesterday.
Yeah? Did you sell it
Yeah.
for 1,000?
No, I
Isn't
got
that?
850 bucks though.
I thought you could have gotten more than 1,000 for it. But I don't know.
Yeah, but with the damage and the airbags and everything, I mean, I had a bunch of people that were like, "Ooh, I'll come look at it." One guy was going to come down from Delta, and then like in the morning, he's like, "Oh, well, if you can have that bed off, I'll be there, and we can just load it in my truck." And I'm like, it's not going to fit in your Toyota bed, and we're going to need some people.
Oh, he's
I
gonna
can't
put the
lift it.
the bed in his bed.
Yeah, he wanted to put the
Oh,
bed, and then he was like being weird, and I was kind of like, okay, well, we're gonna need help. And he's like, well, I'll figure something out. And then I sold it like 3 hours later. I
yeah.
felt kind of bad, but at the same time, I was like, dude, you said you'd be here, you'd leave first thing in the morning, and now you're like, oh, well, I can't really make it. So, yep, too bad. Sorry. End of the line.
Yeah, I can't really make it. Tell you what. Well, when I went to get the bed for my truck, it's weird because it's the exact same size as the bed, so we had to put it like in there at an angle and then
Yep.
strap it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got that just before I moved out here, didn't you? You and Neil went and got it when you were at Mustang Concepts.
No, I think it was because I have that picture of my truck backed up into Terry's, and it still has the original bed on it.
Really?
But the tailgate was gone, so I had that black tailgate on there that he gave me.
Yeah, we
I
found
don't
a
even know what happened to that thing.
tailgate.
Where did that even go?
The old tailgate?
No. Well, oh, I have pictures of the old tailgate. Did I not show you?
Yeah, the black tailgate, right?
Well, no, that's the one that Terry gave me that he had laying around there.
Yeah, I remember.
And I don't know what happened to that. I can't even
Didn't it
remember.
go with the bed? Because the new bed came with a tailgate.
Oh, maybe it went with... Where'd the old bed go? It's just sitting...
We scrapped it.
Did we?
Yeah, we put it on a trailer and took it to the scrapyard when I was scrapping all those Mustang bodies out.
Man. See, this
Pretty sure
exactly
we
what
did.
I was just talking to Laura about, is I can't remember... Like, oh, did I tell you about the radon in our house?
No.
All right, so my theory
Yeah,
is I'm sitting in radon gas right now, and it's affecting my memory, and I can't remember anything.
Is that what the radio guy told you, or the internet, or what?
We did the radon test, but we did it one level up, like on our garden level, like where our bedroom is,
Yeah.
and it was
Dying.
above. So like the limit is 4. Anything above 4, you have to put in a mitigation system, and it was like 6.5 on our level, and I'm down a level. So, all right. So yeah, no, that bed, man, I put it on when I worked after Terry's at Mustang Motorsports with Neil and Greg.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe you picked it up after that. Yeah, because remember I had the white Jeep and you had gotten the new bed, and I was like, can I hit this old bed with
Yeah,
my Jeep? And
I do
hit it
remember
in the parking lot.
that.
That's
You-
where we stay for work when or not bleep that out. When
When-
my work sends me to training in Denver, that's the hotel we stay at. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, that's right. So you got that after you went to the next Mustang shop. Okay, so I wonder if they just had it in the back 40.
We might have switched it out because I was gonna do some work to it, so I think I didn't put it on. And then when they fired me, I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna put my bed on. That's what happened. And then Greg picked it up with the forklift with a strap over the cab side of the bed, and it bent the crap out of the front of it.
Yep.
And then when my 4-wheeler strap broke and it went through the back window, it straightened the bed out. So that's how that happened. Man, I need to fix
But
that
it's straight
4-wheeler
now, so
too.
it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, that 4-wheeler's just sitting in my garage rotting away too. Laura's like, well, what if we just like stay here for a while? And I'm like, well, then what's going to happen is we're going to be 60, and then we're finally going to move out of here, and I'll be too old to do everything I want to do, and it won't matter anymore.
Yeah.
The truck will be rotted away.
It'll just be a Cummins 12 valve sitting in the parking lot.
Update on my car.
Yeah. What's going on with your car?
So when I was at PPG class, that's
Yeah.
another thing.
That's something else to talk about.
Thursday we had some time on a break, so I called him. I called the Volkswagen dealer in Illinois, and she said that they got the engine out, they took it apart, the inspector came and inspected, and he left. So then they were waiting to hear back from the warranty company to see exactly what they were going to cover and everything. And they expected to hear from them Friday, which was last Friday, or Monday, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if I don't hear from them tomorrow, I'll definitely call them Tuesday, if not like at lunch tomorrow. So yeah, that's what's going on now. The guy looked at it. Now they just need to make their decision and tell us what's going on.
Cool. Well, and if they give you any grief, you can always appeal that stuff too. Because like I did a motor and a Jeep at the dealer here in town when I was there for a minute, and I took it all apart and I took a bunch of pictures, and they were like, "Nope," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" You know, the upper end come apart on it, like a Jeep 4.7 will. That's my second one. I did the one in my personal Jeep for the same reason when I borrowed the Dodge. And Dodge.
Oh yeah, you drove that thing for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, and Anthony was pissed. It was hilarious.
Why? Why was he pissed?
He thought I was gonna have you come help me put the motor in my Jeep.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I quit, and I was like, "No, I'm just borrowing his truck because he's a good guy." And he's like, "Oh well, you know, I just wanted to make sure, you know, since he doesn't work here, he can't be here." And I'm like, "Yeah, duh. Like I'm not that stupid." Anyway, yeah. So then they were like, "No." I took a bunch of pictures of the cam bearings getting all wiped out and stuff, and they're like, "Nope." And I'm like, "What? Are you kidding me?" So then they sent a guy out, and he looked at all the parts, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's a Jeep motor. Here you go." So don't freak out. Moral of the story: don't freak out if they're like, "Oh, they said no." Be like, "Well, why?" And let's get it covered.
Yeah.
I don't think they will. I mean, if it's just a cracked piston, did they send you any pictures or anything?
No, I kind of want him to. I want to see exactly what happened because I want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, you're interested. I think you have every right to know. Well, I hope it works out. Maybe in episode 3, you can tell us how it gets resolved.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have some pictures and I can show you exploded piston or something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, that's another thing people said is the pictures that I put in the other one that was awesome. It was like,
oh yeah,
the best thing.
Tell
so
the
you can
story, but the picture just sets the scene even better, so you can see the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if we're updating your car, oh sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, the story only does so much, and then you're trying to imagine it, and then if you see it, what actually happened, then it
helps.
It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's all.
So we went to Salt Lake City last weekend, Sunday. We could go tonight because we're filming on a Sunday. And we got there about this time. It was dark and it was ugly and terrible. It's a whole story. You got water with you. You got, you gotta use the bathroom to go now.
If it's gonna be a while, I might actually have to use the bathroom because I've been drinking like 3 beers or so now.
It's not that long of a story. I'm just being funny. So we had to take the dogs to our dog watcher at Prana Dogs. Not sponsored, but she's awesome. If you're in Durango, find Marcy, take your dogs to Prana. So we did that. No big deal. It was snowing. Kind of took a while, but we got our doggies there and we dropped them off, and then we started heading to Salt Lake. And it was snowing here, more than I expected. So we're driving along. We get to an area called Cherry Creek, like your Cherry Creek, but different. My Cherry Creek. And this girl in front of us loses it on a straightaway in her Jeep. And as she's, fishtailing side to side to side to side, she puts the car in reverse. And we're like, what are you doing? And she corrects it. There's oncoming traffic, all that kind of craziness. She corrects it. We keep going. there's this hill called Mancus Hill. It's kind of steep. You can see this girl just like traction control, working overtime, trying to get her up this hill, but she makes it. And, like 10 miles later down the road, it's just wet. Everything's good. Another like 20 miles down the road, it's dry. We haul ass to Moab, eat some lunch in Moab, which if you've never been there, such a cool town. And then we haul ass to Salt Lake. We go over Soldier Summit. Everything's good. I almost wrecked it coming over the summit. There's like a kind of a sharp curve on the west side of it. And everything was good, feeling fine, driving good. And there's this little kind of sharp corner. I'm like, whoa. So I slam on the brakes. Not slam, but get on the brakes and go to hit the corner. And the back end comes out. And it's like, all right, rally car time. Not quite that bad. Not full lock. But a little like, oh, God. Steph was not enthused. She's giving me the look like, yeah, I'll kill you. That never happened again. But we made it to Salt Lake fine. We went to the hotel, got checked in, went to Shields. Have you ever been to Shields? There's one in Loveland. Go there sometime. It's very cool. If you're driving past, they have a Ferris wheel inside. Not sponsored, by the way. Shields, not sponsored.
Not a sponsor. I almost wore my not a sponsor shirt, but I got my kitty shirt on, so.
And we went to Duluth Trading. I've never seen a Duluth Trading Company store.
There's one here somewhere, because I looked up something. They're supposed to have those super awesome underwear, and we were going to get some, and then I saw there was one here, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to pay shipping if I can go pick them up, and then I never got them, because I didn't go over there.
They used to be really good clothes, and we walked into that store, and it was like walking into an Old Navy, but in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
Did not like that. They have a Krispy Kreme. That was awesome. I brought some of those to work.
I haven't seen one of those. Oh, my God. Since I lived up in Thornton.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was awesome. I went to In-N-Out Burger. I've never been there. It was okay. There's going to be a lot of feedback from this portion.
What? You didn't love it? What?
Yeah. I don't understand what all the hype was about. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't like, oh man, my life is altered. I need to come here now to eat more of this. Good.
We went to one in Vegas when we were there for the awards, and it was good. I don't know that I would say it was really good. I'd probably give it a I don't remember now. It's been so long. It's probably not as good as I think it is. I'd probably give it a 7, I suppose.
Oh.
Or a 6.
I thought it was like Freddy's good, not like the best I've ever had, but like pretty good. Like I'd go there if I was in the neighborhood.
I mean, Freddy's is really good. Especially like I get the one with the bacon, the double with the bacon. It's really good. I'd probably give Freddy's a higher. I'd give Freddy's a 7. I think I'd give In-N-Out a 5.5 to a 6.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it's good. If I was driving by, I'd eat there, but I'm not going to go out of my way. I'm certainly not going back to Salt Lake for it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So we did all that, slept in the hotel, got up. Oh, we looked at my new car on Sunday night. The first thing I did, because it was right down the street from the hotel, we drove the back lot, and I found it, and I was drooling all over it. I was like, oh yeah, this is my car. This is cool. This is great. Went in, walked in, Riverton Chevrolet, like, I give them like 2.5 stars. Not sponsored, but
that's worse than getting hit in the face with an airbag.
Yeah, buying a car, I give getting in a car accident with airbags a 3 out of 10. I give Riverton Chevrolet 2.5 out of 10. The process, I felt like I got the runaround. They had a great price on the car. I got the runaround from the first finance guy. We went to the place, and we had a 9:00 appointment, and the lady didn't show up till like 9:30. I had to get another sales guy to take us on a test drive to, I knew I wanted it, but I was like, let's make sure there's nothing like the rod doesn't come out of the side of the block in the first 10 minutes or something. It had 30 miles on it, 36 miles when we got it.
Even that Mazda that I leased still had like 250 or 350 or something.
Yeah. So that was cool. Finance guy we talked to, I think, was Scott, the second guy. He was great. He fixed everything, got us a warranty, lowered the rate a little bit further. He was awesome. I really liked him. I just didn't feel like taken care of as much. Way better than Aztec Chevrolet, which I think is High Country. High Country Chevrolet, -3 stars. I would rather hit another deer today than go back to High Country. It was terrible. Awful. Do not recommend.
Where's that?
Aztec, New Mexico.
Oh, okay. I think you said that.
Don't ever go there. Don't even look. If they have a car, go to like Moorhart or Webb and be like, hey, I want this here, but I don't want to deal with these people. I'll pay you extra. Not a sponsor again, but they're the devil.
All right. I hate to do this to you, but the pee is actually becoming painful. So
All
give me
right,
like 2 minutes.
Okay.
I'm fast.
All right. I'm going to get green chili. Pause.
3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Ready, go.
3, 2, 1. All right.
Yeah.
So your truck, you got your truck. It had 30 miles on it.
Yeah. And we got it bought. We got all the paperwork done. Everything was great. I drove it all the way home. No issues, no hiccups. In Monticello, Utah, frickin' deer. I'm like, man, this thing has like 200 miles on it. I swear. And it was coming, and there was a semi coming towards me, and I was like, oh, this is going to be terrible. And it turned. Thank God. It turned back. I was like, the semi's going to hit it. It's going to bounce off the semi. It's going to go through my windshield. It's going to kick me in the face. None of that happened, thank God. Which was terrifying. And then we hauled ass back to the house, and then drove it to work the next day, and it was awesome. And I haven't had a single issue with it. I'm starting to figure it out. Drives great. Runs good. I love that little truck. It's excellent.
Nice. Yeah. Driving the Dodge every day sucks.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's so exhausting. But hopefully I'll figure something out this coming week. And then we can fly back to Illinois, get the car, drive it back here.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the thing. Once they do get it fixed, you got to drive it all the way back.
Yeah. Yeah, Laura said she'll come with me. We'll probably have to take Will. Well, no, Laura's mom's got Friday, Saturday off now with her new schedule. So maybe he could stay with her. I'm going to have to take a Friday off and get on a plane Friday. Fly out there, get the car, get all the crap from my parents' house packed in the car, and then probably leave Saturday morning, drive all day Saturday, be back late Saturday night, and then have Sunday off and then go back to work.
That's insane. Well, that's how my weekend was buying that car. Steph worked Saturday, so we drove up Sunday. That was all day. It was an 8-hour drive with the snow and everything. We ate dinner. We went to sleep. We woke up. We bought the car. We drove back. I was like, I had to take Monday off work because dealerships aren't open on Sunday, which is dumb.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw that picture of the snow. It's like a whiteout.
Oh, yeah. Steph
shared it must have been on Steph. Yeah, it was on hers.
Mm-hmm. I'll get you those pictures sent over so you can see it all. There's a picture of me being like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, cool. Yeah. I don't know. One day I need to get a... Man, my car's 2012, so it's 7 years old. It's about to be 8 years old. Need to get a newish car eventually one day. Something with like a real factory warranty. Well, that's why I leased that Mazda, is because it had a factory warranty. I didn't have to worry about it. And then the blower motor came apart, actually. It like... and you needed some special Mazda tool to open up the heater box and get it out.
Jesus Christ.
So I took it to the Mazda dealer and they did it. It's all covered. Didn't have to do anything. All right. So I talked to the Volkswagen dealer people when I was at PPG class. So PPG, not a sponsor, but we do spray PPG at work. So they sent me to, it was a solvent based, class, not waterborne. It was at Warren Tech Wednesday and Thursday. So they tell me it's at 8:00, right? So I'm like, all right, well, I'll get there at 7:30 because I don't know where I'm going and everything. Mm-hmm. So I get there at 7:30 at park. I go into the front. The security guy's like, yeah, I don't know where that is, but go upstairs and talk to these people and they'll tell you where to go. So I go upstairs. They're like, all right, well, go down these stairs, go out here, go around this building, go to that building, and it's in there. So I find it. I go in there, I sit down, and I'm kind of waiting. And after like probably 20 minutes, the instructor's like, well, we'll try to start as close to 8:30 as possible. It's like 7. I got there even before 7:30, so it's probably 7:30 now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I've got an hour to kill. So I went and got my truck from the front lot, brought it around, just kind of sat in there and watched some videos or something. But then we were waiting for people to show up, so it was like 8:45, 8:50 before we even started. So it was pretty cool. It was classroom. For a little bit, there was only 6 of us. He told us how everything works, like the science behind how it works, and a lot of good information. How, I don't know, I just learned a lot of stuff. Like, have you ever taken the spray gun and turned the air nozzle sideways, the air cap, and sprayed it at the wall, and you're supposed to spray it like for 3 seconds or 3 to 5 seconds until it starts to run? Mm-hmm. So you'll see the spray pattern. So a Sada spray gun is going to be oval like that, and an Iwata is going to be like rectangle. It's really weird. But then you want to watch the runs. So as it runs out of here, all your runs should be even. They should all run like, they shouldn't be more over here or more over here or more in the middle. Yep. I was like, I've never done that before.
Are you sure? I feel like we've done that.
I've taken the gun and I'll like spray it on a piece of paper to like, okay, this is how, this is what my spray pattern looks like. It's not like this, and it's not super huge, so it looks like this.
Yeah. I guess, we've never turned it sideways, just be like.
Yeah, I've never done that. So it also tells you if like your gun's plugged up anywhere too, or if it's dirty. Mm-hmm. So that was cool. They dumped all the different reducers down a piece of paper to see how fast they evaporated. Mm-hmm. And like the first one was gone, and like before it got to the ground. The next one was faster than the last two. So that was cool. So you got to actually see how it works. Then we went in the booth and we sprayed Chevy Colorado hoods and fenders. They had them all set up.
I need a couple of those
on a stand. Yeah. So we painted them, and then the next day the instructor went in and sprayed a little bit of sealer here and there to act like a repair area, and then we had to blend the color, the base coat, and then re-clear it.
Cool.
So that was pretty cool. I got certification. I don't have any of it down here. I got a piece of paper that says I'm certified to spray PPG for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I got to not go to work for 2 days. I just got to go sit in the classroom and spray some stuff. And
that is absolutely the best. I love when I go to training in Denver.
So yeah, the first day they took us to this Mexican restaurant, which I don't remember the name of, and they paid for all of it. And it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. The second day, the students at the school, the money that they got from like working on people's car, doing oil changes or whatever, they got this restaurant to like cater basically, and they brought a smoker that's like the size of this room that I'm in. I don't know if you've ever seen my computer room.
Yeah, I've been there.
It was freaking huge. It was a trailer, it had a stack on it, and they smoked prime rib.
Oh my God. Really?
And mashed potatoes and corn, and there were cookies and pie and chips and all kinds of stuff.
Oh my God.
I got this prime rib. I got a picture of it. I'll put up there. It was like red in the middle. It was perfect. And then they brought us the leftovers too, so that was cool.
You're so lucky I just ate. Otherwise, I'd be like, I'm going to come there and strangle you. I did. I got 2 pork shoulders. While we took our break, I pulled those out, and they're wrapped. They're resting. They're looking good. They're buttery. I'm going to shred them after this. I'll send you a picture of them shredded. We have our work. Our work party for Christmas is on Wednesday, so I'm bringing that, and I'm bringing cheesy potatoes because nobody else from work is bringing anything.
Really?
Yeah, I'm bringing like 10 pounds of pulled pork, and there's like 30 people coming. I'm like, you know what? I don't have to feed you all. I'm bringing more than my fair share already.
Yeah, well, I didn't eat yet. Laura started cooking about the time I decided that I had time to do this. So she's eating right now.
Man, yeah, Steph was eating, and then we took a break, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely eating this right now.
Well, she made soup, and I got a fire going,
Ooh.
and it's cold outside. And we were going to watch, on Netflix, Ryan Reynolds' movie, Six Underground.
Six Underground? I watched that, yep.
Was it good? Was it interesting, I suppose? Should I watch it?
Do you like watching Michael Bay movies?
I don't know that I specifically. I don't know that I'd say Michael Bay is the reason I'm watching.
Where he everything blows up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like Ryan Reynolds. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, if you're looking for like a deep, actor type like dialogue plot line, it ain't there. But it's fun. It's a fun adventure for, I think it's like 2 hours and 6 minutes runtime. It was enjoyable. It just isn't. It's not gonna like give you some deep meaning in your life. It's just lots of stuff blows up, lots of race cars, lots of really awesome kill shots that I actually laughed at. Like John Wick, where he just like headshots everybody, and after a while, you're just like,
"What are you doing?" Yeah. Well, it's
every guy with a headshot. It's kind of like that. It's not. It won't change your life, but it's fun movie.
It's more of like it's like a brain off. Watch the explosions.
Yes.
That's
watch
fine.
The big boom. Watch the engines. Watch the guns. Yeah, it's kind of like that. There's a story to it, but it's not. It's background. It's not. You're not watching it for the story.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I like Ryan Reynolds. I liked a lot of the actors and actresses in there. I thought they all kind of. You learn about them, and it's kind of cool. But for the most part, they shoot stuff and blow stuff up, and they do some good stuff for the world. It's kind of fun. It's kind of like an Avenger-y kind of thing with a new spin, maybe.
Well, we'll watch it while I'm eating. Well, did you see the trailer for Free Guy?
Free Guy.
It's the Ryan Reynolds one, yeah.
Yes, that looks awesome. He's in a computer game, and he decides to have free will all of a sudden.
Yeah, so he's like an NPC. Yeah, that's funny. It took me a while to figure out what was actually going on in the trailer. But yeah, that's an interesting thing.
I read about it before. What's an NPC? What's that stand for? I'm not a gamer.
Non-player character. So it's just like a character that's in the game.
Yeah, background. Like the guy who walks his dog down the street when you're driving by shooting.
Yeah.
And he doesn't react to anything. He just walks.
Yeah, or somebody that's like you talk to and they have like a set dialogue and that's all they say.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, what was I talking about?
Work
food.
Christmas party.
Work Christmas party. So we went to Bob's Christmas party last night, which was Saturday, and then we went to work Christmas party Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool. It was in the show, the showroom, the used car dealer, classic car dealer showroom, and then it was upstairs, and they got like a whole kitchen thing, and then like a long table up there.
Awesome.
And they had Romano's catered in.
Ooh. I like
which is
Romano.
it's like a block from our shop. And we had pizza from there. It's really good. So that was really good. And then, man, the owner talked, and he had the managers talk about their people, and they talked about every one of them, and it was like this heartfelt speech about this employee. Like, he
What they
never
say about
complains.
you? They're like, Corey's the greatest painter, and he puts his headphones in, and he just works all day, and he's awesome, and we're going to give him at least double his pay.
Yeah, kinda. Except the double the pay. Yeah, it's like everybody appreciates everybody, and they were all super nice. They've only been open for 5 years, like the whole company.
Really?
Yeah, and they've only been in that shop for 2 years. The shop that I'm in, they were all in there, the paint and body and the mechanics, and then they built. I guess they built that building. They moved everybody over to the other one. So it's a fairly new place. He says was the first year that we turned a profit, and
Wow.
it was a good profit.
It's hard to turn a profit doing classic cars. So if anybody can do that and isn't basically running it as a tax write-off, hell yeah. Like, way more power to them. Like, when we were at Terry's, what was that guy's name who kind of really, I think, owned the shop in all secrecy?
Oh, I recall something about that, but I can't picture his name, his face, or his name.
Yeah, it escapes me right now. I'll probably think of it at like 1 in the morning and I'll text you.
I'll be like, leave me alone.
Yeah, he was awesome. And I think he was the secret owner, but I also tax write-off because we always had his stuff in there.
You know what? Was that guy that gave us those Letterman knives?
Yep.
Oh, I have that in my toolbox.
I lost mine like 2 years ago, and I'm so sad about it. I love that knife. I did everything with that knife, and it's gone. It's just disappeared.
That says 2008 on it, I think, or something. Wow.
I think the price is 09
Maybe it might.
because I didn't come to Colorado until 10 years ago, the week before Thanksgiving. And then you went home for Thanksgiving and got my toolbox. You got my big silver toolbox, and then you got a Mustang white one.
Oh, I did get. Oh my gosh! See, that's the type of stuff I never would have remembered doing that because I know you had something brought out on a truck.
You brought it out on a
Well,
truck.
I mean, like on a semi, you had something shipped out here, didn't you? Whether it was a vehicle or a toolbox or something.
My white Jeep came on a semi, and I picked that
Okay.
up with what was that guy's name with the Ford truck?
Jared.
No, not Jarrett. The Ford diesel.
Justin.
Justin, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you brought my bottom box, and then I bought my top box not too long after that, and they brought that on a truck too.
See, and I hardly remember that even after you said it, but I remember it was at your parents' house?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
you went there, and you and my dad loaded that thing into the back of the Dodge.
I have like this one screenshot in my brain of doing that.
Yep.
And I didn't until you started talking about that. So I got that. Yeah, I got that in the truck, and I brought a trailer. I pulled a trailer to Illinois.
Yeah, I think you pulled Terry's trailer, didn't you?
Maybe. And then I went up towards Chicago and got your box, and then I put the black Cobra. Was it the Cobra? Yeah, it was the Cobra.
Black Cobra. Yeah.
And I brought the
yes.
Cobra back out from my parents' house to Colorado
And then we put dealer lights on it and went downtown one night.
with like no turn signals and no brake lights. Oh my God.
That night was horrible.
Goddamn
That was
kids.
horrible.
Well, that's the night that I met Laura, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, you met her like the next week or like 2 weeks later. You were like, "Hey, you should come out," and I was like, "No,
Oh yeah.
you
I didn't-
people f
well-
right off."
I remember about like I didn't really want to go. I'd kind of given up. I was like, I don't even want to go anymore.
Yeah, and I think Justin dragged you out. And didn't you meet Laura at the Electric Cowboy?
It was No, it was the other one across from Lodo's, the Cowboy Lounge. I danced with her. I was just like picking girls and dancing with them.
Well, I'm glad you did that night. Golly, 2 weeks before you were like, "Meh, girls are scary."
And then they turn the lights on. And that's when you're like, shut the lights off. Oh, God.
You did this to me, God. Oh, God. Ooh.
And they made us go home. And then, like...
Were you singing that Nikki Gilly song where it's like, all the girls all get prettier clothes in town?
No.
No? Yeah.
And then she didn't reply to me for like a week. And then I ended up going downtown with Justin again, like 2 weeks later. And then we met her at Lodo's.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, the first time we went down there, you and Justin were wasted already, and I was driving, so I was just chilling at the bar at the Cowboy Lounge, and Puke Girl came between you two and grabbed me, and we danced, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm totally sober. And you two were like, what just happened?
Puke Girl. I remember... Oh, now I'm remembering things. Justin making out with this girl, but he had a chew in his mouth, right? And then it was in her mouth? And then
that sounds very Justin, but
and then it was there was someone else with us too, wasn't there? That we met there or something. Maybe it was one of Justin's friends or something. Because I remember Justin and this guy were making out with the same girl.
Oh no!
But Justin had a chew in his mouth, and then it was in the other guy's mouth. I remember him telling me about that. Oh my God. Could you even imagine that?
That is terrible. I just ate, man.
Come on.
I just remember the night we were there and you and Justin were being weird and these girls kept bumping into you and I'm like, go dance with them. And I was over it, but you guys were having fun. So I was all in. And this girl comes through the two of you because I'm kind of on the bar and you two are like here. And she comes through the middle and grabs me and we go dance. It was horrible. Oh, her breath was terrible.
Oh, that's right. Okay. That's why she was Puke Girl, because she had puke smelling breath, like she just puked.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, you need a drink. And she's like, oh, Bud Light. So I like bought a drink. Here you go. Like, because that's awful. That's gross. And as soon as she saw the beer, she bailed, turned green and bailed. And I was like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. And I go back to you two, and I gave Justin the Puke Girls beer.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And, no, it was horrible. But he drank it. He was totally happy. That was the same night that he fell down the stairs at Lodo. Like, they called last call, so he goes and buys 10 beers. He had them all in his hand. And then he had a couple in his arms. And then he's like, they opened them all, bro. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what they do. So he's trying to pound them. He gets like 3 in, and then he can't even walk. And I'm trying to carry him down the stairs, and he falls, and all the glass goes everywhere. And he saves like 3 of them, which I was really impressed with that. And people are like, oh, my God, I can't believe it. And I'm like, could you help me just pick this drunk asshole up so I can get out of here? And then he was mad. The bouncers took his beer when we left the front door. I was trying to get you guys back to the car, which was at Spear.
It was a long way. It like we were like, if anyone's familiar with Denver at all, we were by Coors Field.
Yes.
And it was all the way down at Spear.
And whatever that road is, it was horrible.
Spear and Market or something.
And there's a million people. This is when it was still okay to go downtown. Like, you weren't necessarily going to get robbed or shot or worse. And I'm just trying to get you. There's a bunch of drunk white kids for the most part. Let's be realistic here. And a bunch of like frat bros and drunk girls, and it was terrible. And I'm trying to carry him. You're like everywhere, nowhere to be found. I'm like, Corey. Then people are driving by like, Corey, get back.
And I didn't like, because I couldn't hear you, right? And all I heard were these girls driving by, and they were all hanging out the window going, Corey! And I'm like, hey! And I'm like, they know my name. How do they know my name?
Because I'm like a block behind you yelling, Corey, get out of here.
I didn't hear you once.
Yeah, I know. It's horrible. It's horrible. That is a 4 out of 10. It was awful.
Well,
It was awful.
That sucked because I had to pee a lot and it hurt. I
And
peed
then
in the parking garage.
Yeah.
And I didn't get arrested, so.
Yes, that was the good part. I drove you and Justin back to your apartment in Thornton. And then I turned around and drove all the way back to Littleton at like 4 in the morning.
Oh my God. Yeah, because they turned the lights on at the bar, so it was at least 2, right?
Yeah, they closed Lodo. Like, we were getting kicked out of Lodo's, so there were like people everywhere. There's about 1,000 people. I was sober as a judge. It was awful. There's nothing worse than being the sober guy that has to get the drunk people home.
I don't know that I've ever really done that. Like, been completely sober. If anything, like, I've
sober.
Had a couple, 2, 3 or something.
No, I didn't have anything. I think maybe I had one, like, at the Electric Cowboy or... I thought that Electric Cowboy and Cowboy Lounge was the same place. No?
No, the Electric Cowboy is... it's like, I want to say Lakewood. Or somewhere over towards that. Like, between where I live in Boulder, but more like just on the outskirts of Denver.
Okay, well then I was completely wrong.
And the only reason I know that is because the people that I met that were like the country swing dancer people, they went there, and I went there a couple times.
Oh, all right. Yep.
Yeah.
I've never been there then. Sorry.
The only other thing I got here is my Rolls Royce paint job, which was a absolute disaster. Rolls Royce. It's a 73 Rolls Royce Corniche convertible. And I'll put these pictures up here. It's kind of, the colors are bad.
Is that the creamy one?
It's like a tan color on the bottom and like a white cream on the top of the doors up.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So this car was there when I started. So that was June, and now it's December. It's still there. It was there. I guess it's been there for a year now, is what they told me. It came in like last December.
Jesus.
So it was there so long because they were trying to get fenders for it.
And the one you ordered fenders and they were wrong fenders, and
yeah, so
$50,000 of wrong fenders.
If you're unfamiliar with the Rolls Royce, you can't just buy a fender because a lot of them were like handmade that long ago, 1973. And they're all one piece. They were like the fender to the front end, to the cowl, to the door. Well, no, not the door, but to the rocker, and then the rocker to the quarter. It's all been put together. I don't know if it's leaded or bondoed or what. So
73 Bondo.
We have to order these fenders from Ireland. There's a junkyard in Ireland that has fenders. So we get one. It takes it like 2 or 3 weeks, and we get a fender. And it's in this like wooden triangle looking box. I wish I had a picture of it. I don't think I do. But it's a big box. There's a fender in it. We open it up, and it's the wrong style. Like, it's not close enough to even. So we're like, okay, well, that took $2,500 to get that thing here from Ireland. So we order another one. Let's tell them it's the wrong one, and we kept that one. Or I saw it on the shelf somewhere. So we get another one, take it out of the box. We're like, oh, that one, that's the right one. That's all right, perfect. Well, it's the wrong side. So another $2,500. So we got $5,000 worth of fenders we can't use.
I'm gonna burn this building to the ground.
We get another one, which I'm sure costs another $2,500. So that we're $7,500 at least in fenders, and it is the right one. The side marker's a little bit different, but we can make it work.
Yeah, it's close enough to cut it.
Body guy cuts it like in the center of the wheel, and then up front gets it all in there. It's pretty good. I prime it, we block it. It's pretty good, right? So Oh man. So November, I don't know. Anyway, I don't even remember anymore. I masked it up. I painted it. Oh no, we couldn't match the paint. We couldn't match the brown color because it sickens, Exo Nobel. And we're PPG, and we had the rep come out and he tinted it with me, and we thought we had something good. I sprayed it out. It didn't work. So then we're trying to find a place that's a Sickens dealer that sells Sickens. So we finally find one. I drive all the way up to like 70 and Pecos
I know where that is.
To get this paint. Well, then the guy's giving me a hard time. I have the spray out card with the formula on it. This is what goes in this, and this is how much. And he's like, well, I can scan the color and see if I can match it. The formula's right here.
Got it on the card. Look at the card.
So I had to sit at this place for like it's probably only half an hour, at least a half an hour. And he mixed it up. I got it. I brought it, drove it all the way back in the shop truck that's kind of like mine where you got to chase it all over, but it's a 4-speed with a granny gear.
Oh,
so
God.
It's like an 83 Chevy or something. So let's see. I mask it up. I paint it. The color's almost perfect. It's perfect enough. My other color is perfect. Our manager made me use this clear that I only barely used one time.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, I did the door and then I painted the fender. So like, but where the door and the fender were, it kind of overlapped my spray.
Yeah.
So it kind of ran right at the door gap. It was kind of bad, but I mean, I've seen worse. We could have sanded and buffed it out. But the problem was when I opened the driver's door, so it has like these long hinges. It's not just like a hinge like this. It's like,
it's got the embedded one where it kind of kicks the door out.
It kind of comes out and goes this way.
Mm-hmm.
So when the door opened, it like scraped the front of the fender, like scraped all the clear off in the color.
Everybody's gonna die now.
So we screwed around with it. We adjusted the door. We ground the gap. I spent one whole day sanding this car back down with like 400 and 600.
Did anybody even look when they opened the door? Did they just like walk up like?
Well, I looked at it before I painted it, and it was chipped there, and I thought, this looks like it's pretty close. I bet it because it was like super thick anyway. Like there's 50 paint jobs on this car.
Yeah, you're at like 80 mil.
So, but it wasn't touching. So I'm like, all right. It's not that close. Well, it was that close, and the other side did the same thing. So we fixed it all up. I sanded the whole, from the back of the doors forward, sanded it all again. I painted it again. It was perfect. And then
it was perfect.
It was perfect. And then I went to Illinois for Thanksgiving. I came back and they got like where the bumper goes, there's like these fins that stick out that the bumper mounts to. And they're all Bondos broke out of them. They're ground down. And I'm like, what the fuck did you guys do while I was gone? Well, they told me that they didn't have the bracket for the bumper or something, so they couldn't fit the bumper yet, right?
Yeah.
Why did I paint it if you didn't fit the bumper yet? I didn't know about this. So they go to put the bumper on. The bumper doesn't fit, like not even close. The guy ended up having to cut and weld to make it fit, and then he did the body work, and then I primed it again, and I blocked it, and then I painted it again Tuesday night until like 5:15. I hit bake. I walked out of there, and then I went to PPG class for 2 days, so I didn't see it till Friday.
Oh, no.
And I got there Friday, and it looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
So
It's like, God.
As long as nobody touches it again, it's perfect. But, we lost our ass on it because the first time I painted it, I can put it in as billable.
Yeah.
When I have to sand it all down, which that's a whole day, that's 8 hours easy, and then it took me a little bit to the next day.
At least, yes.
And then remask it, which takes 4 hours. and then paint it again. So that there's 16 hours there just to sand it and mask it and paint it again.
Plus materials.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So all my bonus for the month is just gone completely.
Even though it wasn't your fault, like that stuff was all messed up?
Yeah, just because it's not, I have to put it in as non-billable. Because we can't charge them again for it.
Yeah.
And then I come back from PPG in a new month, and then I got to paint it again. But I just did like the headlights down, and then actually blended the clear.
Ooh.
And I looked at it Friday, I couldn't tell at all.
With your clear?
It's like so if the top of the headlight's here, you put the clear like to here, first coat. Second coat, you mix it 1-to-1 with blender, and then you go like to here. And then last coat, you just straight blender and you just spray it up. Well, actually, we had like it was farther back, but I was only spraying to here.
Yeah,
you just go straight blender up here, and I couldn't tell.
I just like doing this. Can you hear me going?
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, it looks good. I hope it goes away. Oh, this car also, it has hand controls. So steering wheel's here, and then like right at the steering wheel, man, my camera's really high. You push down forward for brake, and you push down this way for gas.
Yeah.
Brake, gas, and then you have to steer at the same time, not hit your hands together. And
oh my god.
So
it was an accident.
The guy is like so like I guess he crashes it all the time. It's his winter car. He's got some snow tires on it, and he's like,
to take the winter Rolls Royce today.
Yeah, right. He's like 150 years old. So like I'm like, man, I need to get this guy his car before he dies, and we still have it. So hopefully, I never want to see it again.
I'm really hoping next week our episode we have nothing good to talk about because. The last 2 episodes, I feel like we've just been talking about how horrible things are. So maybe next week we can be like, yeah, things are great. This week was awesome. Work was great, and my home life was great, and dinner was perfect every night, and I watched all my favorite shows, and I got all the stuff done. Life was awesome.
Yeah, and I got my car back, and they gave me money.
They gave me money back. They were like, here you go, man. Sorry it took so long. Yeah. No.
Oh, the owner... Well, he had these like little presents with a little gift bag with a card, and mine had $200 in it. And they were like the crispest, brand newest $100 bills I've ever seen.
You know, he went and got a stack of like 10 grand. You know,
yeah,
like one of those inch tall stacks of hundreds, and it was like, give this guy 2, give that guy 2, give that guy. Oh, that guy's awesome. Give him 4.
Give him $50.
He's a douchebag. I'm gonna fire him next week.
Well, I don't know how many people there were, but there was at least 10, right? So 10 times
like $2,000 at least.
200 is 20 grand, right?
No, pretty sure it's two grand.
2 grand.
2,000. Not 20. You got too many zeros in there.
Yeah, I got too many. Well, I'm sure that people have been there longer got probably more money than me.
Oh yeah.
One guy I saw had a 50, so he might have only gotten like 150 or something. I don't know. Maybe he got 550. So there was that. Yeah. Oh, my favorite show. No. Have you watched The Mandalorian? We can talk about this another time. But
oh man, I love The Mandalorian. Little baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Little baby Yoda.
That was when you said show. I was like, oh, we've been watching that because Laura got a free trial for Disney Plus, so we've been watching it. But yeah, we could talk about that.
I didn't get. I think episode 6 came out Friday.
Yeah, we just watched it today.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it,
dude. You know what happens? No. Then in our live stream, our Kingdom live stream we just did, we talked about how we got into Star Wars a little bit. About how like we're not like Star Wars. Like I have nothing against it. It just the way I see it is it's a good show that just happens to be in Star Wars. Yeah.
It's cool. I like it. I like that show. The one that I saw last week that I was like, this is awesome. You know the guys, they used to do Top Gear, and now they're on Amazon, and it's called The Grand Tour.
I heard of that. Someone told me about that, but I haven't seen it.
Are you on Amazon Prime?
I can get it. Yeah.
You need to be, and you need to watch those. But they had a special, like they're all specials now. They did like 2 seasons, and now they're all specials. And the special was called Seamen, and it's about them on boats, which is hilarious. One of the boats they take is an old RPG River Patrol boat, RPB, from Vietnam War. Yeah, they went to Vietnam. It's like, what is wrong with you?
What's
the
it
other
called?
guy had the show or the boat?
The show.
It's called The Grand Tour.
The
Seamen,
Grand Tour. Okay.
like in the Navy. And the one guy had a Scarab cigarette boat from Thunder in Paradise. You remember that show? Hulk Hogan. I think it was like 1 season.
Oh, yeah.
It was like Viper, but on boats. You remember Viper, don't you? Where the car would change into like an armored car.
Yeah, I know of it. I don't.
I couldn't tell you the plot, but yeah. It's like that, but with boats and Hulk Hogan, which was awesome. I remember that as a kid very vividly. He had that, and then the other guy had like a little boat that had like a 90 horsepower diesel motor that just like was for putting around. Hilarity ensues. It's awesome. You need to watch that. It's definitely worth your time. It's like 2 hours again, or an hour and a half. It was an hour and a half of hilariousness. It'd be like if me and you had a lot of money and we put ourselves on boats and had people film it. We'd be like, it reminds me of that very much so.
I started watching this show. I only watched like the first 2 to 4 episodes probably. It's called Oak Island. These guys, have you seen it? You know what it is?
Yeah, I've given them like 4 seasons and it's horrible.
Oh, really?
And I can't watch it anymore. I want to watch it, but I don't watch it.
It's so bad. I just want to know what happens.
Exactly. And they play like the same intro like 16 times and show the same footage of what they think it looks like underground. It's like you have 43 minutes to film this show and you have 38 of those is this same intro every time you come back from one commercial.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 minutes of actual like, oh, we dug a hole and we found an old penny.
Right. Yeah. Well, these guys, Ear Biscuits podcast that I listen to, they were talking about it. Like no one's found anything down there yet.
They say they found stuff, but it's like
they found a couple little pieces of crap, or just like nothing worth anything really.
They didn't find no Templar gold, I'll tell you that much.
And then I was on Netflix and I happened to see that, and I was like, oh, they were just talking about that. So that's why I watched it. But that's about all. I got like 5 episodes maybe into it.
Just stop. It's all the same. You've seen one episode. You've literally seen them all.
I should just watch the last one.
They're still filming that show. They make
Oh, really?
new ones every year. Yes.
They're never going to find anything. It's just like one of those. It's like a mobile game. They all suck, but sometimes you just need one to kill some time.
Exactly. I would highly recommend ditching that and going to like Grand Tour or even like YouTube shows. I know we're on YouTube, but like I like watching. There's a bunch of good ones on YouTube. Been following lately. Got my new truck, so I've been learning about overlanding, which is apparently just camping, but with really expensive gear and stickers and a trailer, which I kind of want to do, but these people got more money than sense, and I don't want to be involved with that because I'll never keep up with them financially.
Like a camper trailer?
Yeah, but not like you're thinking, like an off-road military-style trailer with a rooftop tent.
Oh.
Which seems really cool until you realize that these things cost like upwards of $50,000. And I'm like, I'll just get a pop-up and drag that somewhere.
We had, they have it in the showroom now, but we had it in the shop. It's It's a Volkswagen bus, but it has
Ooh, is it a Bandera or whatever?
it's a tent that kind of goes up like that at
Those
a
are so
45-degree angle. So you can climb up in the roof, and there's a bed up there.
Yeah,
And
they're awesome.
It had a stove. Someone took the stove out before we got it, but they were talking about how they wanted to get one to replace it.
Those things are super cool. It's like that, but not like old school where you rough it. It's like new school where you have a generator and AC and all this other expensive stuff and $1 million worth of equipment. And I'm like, that used to just be called camping.
I've heard that called glamping, like glamour camping, like where you have an RV and you got AC and a shower and a bed and all that crap.
Yeah, and you can like rent places where it's like a cabin with a canvas roof and it's got like a real bed. That's glamping too. There's a glamping place by Moab. And I was like, it's really close to the highway. If I was doing that and paying, like people pay like $500 a night to pretend to camp, which I'm in the wrong business if that's the case, but it's right on the highway in Moab and it's really expensive. And it looks like it'd be cool if it was about 5 miles away from the highway, the main highway, the main in and out off 70, which is basically an interstate itself. One day.
Yeah.
I'm going to get one of those tents that slides in the bed.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, it's just like a camper that fits in the bed of a truck. That'd be cool.
Not even like that. Like, it's just a tent.
Oh, just
and
a tent?
You sleep in the bed of your truck, and it's a tent that goes over you to keep you dry so you can sleep. Do that. Put the dogs in the cab. Sleep in the bed. Life will be good.
Well, we got that gift card from Johnny Morris at Bass Pro at the end of the season. So we got all new. We got a new tent and a bunch of new gear, like a table with like a kitchen type stuff to it, but it's just like a fold out table.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, I've seen that stuff. It's pretty cool.
We got a bunch of new stuff like that because we wanted to, like, there's nothing at Bass Pro that I want that card would have bought me. Like, there's a bunch of stuff there that I want, but if I go start buying like a bunch of crap that I want, I'm going to end up with a bunch of crap that I'm never going to use. So we're like, all right, we'll just get all new camping stuff. Oh, we got it's not a Yeti cooler. It's like the Cabela's brand Yeti cooler.
Yeah. Those Yetis, man. Mortgage your house to buy a damn cooler.
It was like, I don't think it was $200. The Cabela's brand one.
Yeah.
But the Yeti one, it was like $500 for the same one.
Yeah, and it's like it keeps ice cold. They're like, it'll keep ice cold for 14 days.
And it'll keep bears out.
I don't need to keep ice cold for 14 days. I don't want to be that far. Like every couple of days, I want to be in town, hot shower, restock, hot meal.
Yeah, after like 2 days of camping, it's about time to get back and take a shower.
Yeah, that's my thing. If I can find a place where I can get clean, I can go back out pretty fast. But if I can't get clean, I'm like, I'm over it. Let me go.
And it keeps bears out. If a bear is attacking my cooler, I think I got other problems. I need to just get out of there.
Yeah, good luck with that guy. Yeah, okay, bye.
Good luck with that. Well, we've been going for an hour and a half, and it's 7:00, and I still got to eat dinner and stuff like that. So, I think I'm gonna call it a day unless you got something to talk about.
I don't have any cool stories. I'm hoping next week I have 0 cool stories, but I'm sure I'll have some kind of story. I'm working on a Cummins gray market engine.
Gray market? What's that?
So it's an engine that was built for another country. It was supposed to be either exported or never brought here. And it was brought here. It's a Chinese Cummins, which is Chinese Cummins out there, but this one doesn't technically exist. But it exists. It's in front of me. So I'm fixing it. And I'll probably have a fun story about it next week.
That's cool. I've never seen, or I never knew that I saw it. I may have seen one, but
gray market equipment is the devil because it doesn't exist in anybody's book.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, this is just the engine. The snowblower it's in exists, but the engine does not exist. Like, we called the person who built the thing, and we're like, hey, we need filters. And they're like, yeah, that engine doesn't exist. And I'm like, it's definitely in a snowblower that you sold us. So
I'm definitely rubbing it right now.
I sent you a picture of it. It's here. You can come see it. Yeah. I'll have nightmares to tell you about that, I'm sure. I have to work a whole week this week. That's bullshit. I haven't worked a whole week in months.
Yeah, that sucks. I really hate that.
The worst.
That's my goal, is to not have to work a whole week.
I do all the time.
Like ever again.
Yeah. This time of year is great being a government employee because, like, I seriously haven't worked a whole week, I think, since the beginning of November. And I've taken a couple days off here or there, like when I got in the accident or when I went and bought my truck, stuff like that. But this week I have to work 5 days in a row. So when everybody else sees this on Wednesday, tell me happy hump day or something because
yeah.
Or buy me a beer or a rum and Coke. I like those.
I'll have to work on this Monday and Tuesday. Maybe I'll get it out by Wednesday. It takes so long to watch the whole thing. Because there's not really any markers of, when we were just sitting there staring at each other, not talking, or like we said something stupid, or I had to go take a pee or something. So you gotta kind of watch.
I need what do I need? What do I got here? I need to find like a piece of paper. Like when we do something stupid, we just be like,
be like, cut.
Yeah, and then it's like a marker, like mark it, boom. Yeah. Don't look at those. Those are the titles for my trucks. Uh-huh. Don't steal my trucks.
Actually, and then I I don't really watch it back, but then I gotta have I gotta find the little intro part, like the teaser, the 20-second teaser thing. Yeah. Put that in there, and then make it all work. And then I got to make a thumbnail and then upload it. Oh man, render it, that takes 2 hours, and then upload it, that takes 2 hours, and oh my god. Yeah. I don't have to sit here and watch it. I can just That's why the last one I did the day that we recorded it, I did the whole thing that night so that it could render while I was sleeping.
Yeah, cuz you were all hopped up on 5-hour energies. Don't do that tonight. You got to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I got to try to be asleep by I don't know, whatever. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Okay. No, that's good. What?
Let me know when you get it done. I'll share it and post it and tag it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below, down here.
This episode is brought to you by me. And
me. Well, they can't see that because it looks different.
And him. What if I do this?
We're not sponsored. So if you want to sponsor us, let us know.
Yeah, even the dog place. I was gonna say, but you were telling a story, and you're like, the dog lady, not a sponsor, and I was like, but we'd love to have you as a sponsor.
Yeah, but she's like awesome. I wouldn't even ask her. I wouldn't. Because she's awesome and she does a lot of good things. She trains dogs for like people with disabilities and stuff, service dogs, and she saved both of our dogs, I think, and like a million other dogs. So yeah, no, she's awesome.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna have to do this for a while until someone sees it and they're like, "Dude, that was awesome. Here's some money." You just gotta talk about my brand for 15 seconds.
Be like the guy on Renovation Ranch. This is my plate of food from random place that is sponsoring me in the middle of a house building show. And I'm like, man, I need to get me on that sponsorship train.
Station 26 Brewing. Not a sponsor.
We're going to have to start, I'm going to have to tape off this when we do stuff like.
There's one guy I watched on YouTube that he would always drink a Coke Zero, and he'd be like, Coke Zero, same great taste, now with zero sugar and an added hint of vanilla. Or he had this whole thing that he did, but they weren't a sponsor. He was just like screwing with it, trying to get him to do it, but they never did.
Cletus McFarland, if you ever watch him, he's hilarious. They always had Mountain Dew, everything. They always had Mountain Dew. Always, always, always. and Mountain Dew sent him a big package. I don't know if they like sponsored him, but they sent him a big package of like Mountain Dew pit road coats that all had their names on them and like stickers, and then they have a thing called Bartle Skeet. It's something they say, and they did that in the Mountain Dew font for their car and gave them a bunch of stickers, and it was kind of
cool.
fun.
Yeah, even just
And
to
then-
get that stuff, because it's not stuff you can go buy.
No, and like people send them fan mail all the time. Like that's the craziest thing about YouTube stuff to me. Like people sending fan mail. They're like, "Here's this custom thing I made,
Yeah,
and I put my heart and soul into it, and here you go." And I'm like, I like this stuff, but I've never liked any of it enough to really work on, like make something and be like,
Yeah.
"Here's something I made with your logo on it. Congrats."
yeah. Some people get way into it. I've heard a lot of stories.
And some
Yeah.
creepy stuff too. There's some creepy
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. There's like fan fiction stories. They get
That's-
kind of creepy.
That's weird.
And they're every one that I've heard people read are like always like homosexual type stories about like that person and like their friend that also does the same type of thing. I don't know. It's really weird. Some
That
people are
sounds
weird, and that's how they are.
Well, if we ever do get a piece of fan mail, we'll have to open it
Yeah.
on camera.
Some
Whatever it is.
some people it gets to the point where they have to have like a special PO box for people
Yeah.
to send stuff to. So
Well, and like some people have second and third channels for all that stuff.
yeah.
Like a whole second channel where they just open fan mail. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, I'd love to be that famous, but I'd also be like, what is wrong with all y'all?
I'm just a guy sitting in the basement.
Sitting in my kitchen on a phone and a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I'm
All
gonna go eat some dinner. So we'll talk again next weekend, where hopefully we don't have anything interesting to say. I mean, that happened recently.
Yeah. We'll have all the stuff to say. All right. Good luck with that.
All right. Good luck with that. We'll see you next time.
All right. I'm hanging up. Should we do like an outro? Like,
3, 2, 1. Here we go. 4 tires.